Mr. Eddie Ibrahim.
Hello,
Thank you, thank you. I hope you guys like funny. How many of you guys like funny? Well, then you are definitely in the right place, because this is where funny is going to live for the next hour. I did not realize how much I wanted a new Spaceballs movie until I was at the tech chat. This is going to be something very exciting. I hope you guys are ready for it. I hope you guys are going to be able to enjoy it. Just don't record it, but enjoy the heck out of it. And I mean, might as well just get right to it, right? So it is my pleasure to start Spaceballs, the new one.
Please enter passcode. Passcode accepted. Countdown to ludicrous speed engaged.
Well, welcome to Comic-Con, kids. Welcome back to Hall H. I'm Kevin Smith. Are you ready to ball it up? I'll be honest with you, every year we all find our reasons to come to Comic-Con and stuff. And so I came to Hall H because I was hoping that a comedy icon would say my name. And hearing Mel Brooks say my name, I'll be honest with you, I came again. Okay, man, I want to begin this panel, kids, with a simple but very profound question. Does perfection exist? The greatest minds out there might have you believe that no, nothing is truly perfect, but I disagree. 40 years ago, the world attained the pinnacle of parody perfection, and it was called Spaceballs. The ultimate satirical sci-fi film, Spaceballs, is hilarious, adventurous, brilliantly self-aware, and of course, highly quotable. This work of comedic genius also gave us some of the funniest performances ever committed to celluloid and became a cult classic. And today, we're gonna meet the people who decided to tempt fate and make a new one. Are you ready, kids? Please welcome the director of Spaceballs, the new one, Josh Greenbaum. The writers, Dan Hernandez and Benji Salmon. The writer and star, Josh Gad. Your favorite Jewish princess, Daphne Zuniga. And the newest stars in our galaxy, Keke Palmer and Louis Palmer. And of course, kids, the man you've been waiting a long time to see. Give it up for the icon, the legend, Rick Moranis! Rick Moranis!
I know I saw him at the hotel pool.
I mean, maybe he decided not to come. He was with me. I don't know.
Hearing.
I saw him trying to buy weed in the parking lot, I'll be honest with you. Maybe, you know what we should do? we have to comb the audience.
Great idea.
Yes. Good idea.
There it is, they're combing, I see it.
Over here. Oh, maybe over there. Wait, who's that?
Yeah, try him.
We have somebody?
Yeah, I think so.
There it is. Hey, lift your helmet, lift your helmet. No, he ain't Canadian enough.
Try that guy. Yeah. Lift your
helmet, lift your helmet. No, that's too tall to be Rick Moranis.
He wishes.
Wait, find another one.
Oh, there's one over here.
Where?
That guy, try that guy.
Oh, try that guy.
Hey, lift your helmet, man. Give it up for the legend, Rick Moranis!
That was funny.
Okay, this is huge for any self-respecting geek man. Spaceballs is a movie that I saw in a movie theater that I grew up to buy with my friends. I now own the movie theater where I actually saw Spaceballs. So being here for the panel means absolutely everything, man. So I'm gonna dive in. Is he with us?
Yay!
There he is! Rick, it has been, have you ever been to Hall H before? Have you ever been to Comic-Con before?
No, this is my first time.
It seems like impossible to think of considering you are geek royalty, man. Of course, not only Dark Helmet, but Seymour Krelborn, Louis Tully, the man, the most irresponsible father in movie history who struck his kids. You are a part and a heart of this world, and a lot of us here in the audience, and definitely up here, you made our childhoods better, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be here, and a pleasure to be here with this movie. I am so excited about this.
Rick is underselling it. They're announcing him as part of the X-Men cast tomorrow, so
Let's dive in, man. I'm going to start with the obvious question. What gives you the balls to make this movie, man? How does it come about?
So Rick and I were actually supposed to do a sequel to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and I was showing my daughter that movie, and she's like, "Oh my God, I need to see more stuff with him." She fell in love with him, rightfully so. So I showed her Little Shop of Horrors, I showed her Ghostbusters, then we got to Spaceballs, and we finished it, and she goes, "Can we watch part 2?" And I said, "There is no part 2." And she goes, "Yeah, the weird little alien guy said that there's going to be a part 2." And I said, "Oh, sweetie, that's called a joke. That's not like a..."
No, kid, you're thinking about Frozen. There'll be a lot of those.
And she goes, "Well, why isn't there a part 2?" And I was like, that is a really good question. And I went to bed that night, and this is a weird thing, I've told this story before, but I literally had a dream of what I thought the movie should be. And I don't know what gave me the balls to do this, but I called up Mel Brooks and his producing partner, Kevin Salter, who's in the audience. Hey, Kevin. And I did the most intense 40-minute pitch of this movie, and he's just silently listening. This is in 2022. And at the end of it, he goes, "Josh, it sounds like you really got your finger on the pulse. I don't know half of what you're talking about, but I really like it." I was mentioning Force Awakens and Kylo Ren. He's like, "What the hell is that, all that?" And so I told him, if I'm going to do this, I want to put together an all-star team. every great Mel Brooks movie is written in collaboration. And so I knew I didn't want to write it alone, and Dan Hernandez, who I went to school with, and his buddy Benji Salmon, both met at Brown, two of the funniest human beings I've ever met in my life. So I called them up and I said, you guys are Jews, would you ever want to do a Spaceballs sequel? He knew. Yeah, he knew. I knew. And then I had seen Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar, and it was one of those like, holy cow, who's the guy who did this movie? And then Josh called me up during COVID to ask me to do a vocal cameo in the craziest movie called Strays. And I had the best time with him. And what I loved was he was brilliant at filmmaking, hilariously funny, but he brought pathos. And my favorite Mel Brooks movies all have heart, they have incredible storytelling, and they're just funny and well shot. And so I called up Josh, and what was the first thing I said to you?
Josh goes, are you a fan of Mel Brooks? To which I was like, what? This is the dumbest question anyone has ever asked me.
Yes, I had to test you. If there was a chance you said no, in which case I couldn't have hired you. So, we then all collectively got on the phone with Mel and pitched him, which you guys want to talk about.
Well, I just have to say, Benji and I are comedy writers, and let me tell you what is not fun. Is pitching to the literally funniest person who has ever lived. So you're pitching and you're going, okay, it's kind of quiet. There's 15 more minutes of this. What's gonna happen here? But then he loved it, you know? I mean, he was so happy, and you know, we were hesitant at first about like, how do you even step into those shoes and like, can we do this? But then in talking to Mel, we really understood, like, he's been wanting to make this movie for so many years and has been trying so hard, and he finally, you know, he really liked what we had to say about it, and he wanted to do it. And you know, when Mel is like, hey, I want you guys to write this movie, then you say yes. You say yes.
I tell you, man, it gives me hope that there's a Spaceballs 2, because it means maybe there'll be a Mallrats 2 one day. Why is a Spaceballs movie exactly what the world needs right now? I know my answer. What about you guys?
First of all, when Spaceballs came out, Star Wars was kind of still a novelty, right? Like, there weren't many movies of that ilk. The kind of movies that was parroting, and the industry itself that it was parroting, was a very different industry than this one 40 years later. And we all sort of talked thematically about this word nostalgia. And we love movies that look back. We love sequels. We love sort of like continuing these stories that we grew up with. But we started to analyze what that really means, why we love it. And we thought Spaceballs is sort of the perfect vehicle to kind of catch us up on everything that's happened in filmdom and in fan filmdom and pop culture over the past 40 years.
When they made the first one, there was a trilogy to make fun.
Right.
Now there's like a never-ending fount of movies that come out that are interconnected and universes. It is. It's high time.
And so we really wanted to sort of dive into that, right?
Yeah. Are you scared? Does that make you nervous? I mean, let me tell you something. If Gad called me up and said, hey, do you want to direct Spaceballs 2? I'd be like, yes, but he didn't. So he asked me to do the panel. That's even better. If they asked me to do it, I would have been like, no, I can't step into those shoes of a comedy legend, comedy icon, a movie that has had that many years and that much laughs behind it. What gave you the confidence?
It's a good question. It is an immense amount of pressure, but I think there was probably two big things that clicked for me. One, honestly, early on was just remembering, and it was through working with this whole team, that you can't approach a Mel Brooks film from a place of fear. Mel Brooks is fearless, you know, like his films are like, you know, irreverent and just didn't care, and you have to find that confidence to be bold. But to really answer the question, I think it was the involvement with Mel from the beginning. You know, we've been working with Mel for now 5 years together on this thing. And so he's been there every step of the way. And obviously he's a god to me and a father figure to me. but he always sort of gave me this sense of confidence that like, you've got this, even to the point where, and Rick was there, we were at Mel's house, I don't know if you remember this, but right before we're about to go shooting, I say to Mel, hey, you know, any last advice? You know, we were working on this thing together before I go off and direct this thing. And he pauses and he says, yes, yeah, actually yes. And I'm like, oh my God, here it comes, the Holy Grail. So I lean in and he goes, don't say cut first. It's action and then cut. It's perfect. It's like, don't take this too seriously. You got this. Go have fun. And so that really is it. It's like just being I think alongside Mel this whole time has given all of us, I think, the confidence to step into his very, very big shoes.
And Rick, you came back, man. Like,
Well, the truth is that I had to say yes to this thing. It was the only way I could get Josh Gad to stop texting me. Actually, I started talking to Mel about the sequel in 1989, and we kept talking about it. I really wasn't retired. I was just negotiating.
Plays hardball.
But no, this came along right at the right time, and I started talking to these folks and hearing who was going to be in it. And I spoke to Josh Greenbaum, and I heard that Bill Pullman was coming back, and that Lewis was going to be in it too. And it just felt like this is it. It's time, and yes, I said yes, and it is the best decision I've ever made. It was
it's safe to say all of us have missed you, Key Master, so thank you for coming back. Daphne, what about you? What was it like stepping into these shoes after 39 years? Give it up for Daphne.
All right, so I am the one person in this room who's not surprised it took this long, so I want to tell you a little story. I auditioned and, I was 24, 1980, whatever. I auditioned for Mel. It went really well, and he said, oh, you're a princess, you're my princess, you're perfect. So then I left the studio, and I'm this young actress, all excited. I tell my agents, oh my God, I think I got it. He said, I'm perfect. And they're like, yeah, no, we haven't heard, you don't have an offer. So now I'm all nervous, I'm like, what happened? And then we get a call from Mel, and he says, I want you to come down and see the set. So I go down to MGM, it was MGM down there where Sony Studios is, and he shows me my car, the princess car, the Mercedes. And he's like, look, isn't this great? This is your car. And I'm like, I think I have the part. And I'm like, that's my car. And, no, and he goes, this is your costumer, Don Feld. He had an Oscar nomination or maybe an award, I don't remember. And he showed me this beautiful wardrobe, this beautiful with this corset and this cleavage. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, Don. He goes, don't worry, honey, I can give a 2x4 cleavage. You'll be fine. So I'm like, wait. So I'm like, I tell my agents, I go home that day, and he's like, I have the part. And they're like, no, you don't have the part. It took him a month, over a month, to give me the freaking part for Princess Vespa. So I'm not surprised it took 39 years. And I'm very happy to be here.
You said you still don't look Druish.
It's funny that way.
And Daphne, how long has it been, or had it been, since you saw Mel between 1 and 2?
I mean, I had seen him at his AFI honoring several years ago, maybe 15, 20, but that's it. He doesn't invite me over for the TV dinner every Sunday night like Carl, he did his best friend. I don't know. But
yeah, we also, the first time Mel was doing a voice session, which we'll get into in a minute, but Daphne and Bill came, and we actually have a little video, because Josh and I, of course, were so excited we filmed it.
We're geeking out.
Yeah, we'll play a little video of when they first saw each other, because it had been, I don't know, 30 years, so let's see if we can play that.
Shall we? Kiki, give it up for Kiki, everybody. Kiki, what was it like to join this beloved franchise? How quickly did you say yes?
Oh man, it was just so exciting. From the moment that I started reading the script, I just couldn't stop laughing. That was the thing, is just doing stuff that brings you joy. I think we all could use a little bit more joy and laughter, so I mean, immediately, the way I knew it made me feel is the way I felt it would make other people feel, so I had to do it.
I got interviewed by Kiki once, man, and like I remember sitting there being like, God, she's so dynamic. And watching your film career take off has been like it's been really sweet.
We literally did a mock poster when we were pitching the movie to Amazon. And the person we put on the poster was Keke Palmer, and we said, we'll never be able to get her, but this is who we're imagining. So when we finally sent her the script and she said yes, it really was kismet. Like, she was our only choice for that character.
Well, Jeb, one of the producers, he works on my TV show, The Burbs.
Jeb Brody.
Also Brody. And so it's so funny because he said he had spies on set when they sent me the script, and they kept me like, she laughed at this joke, she laughed at this joke. She can't stop talking, she's telling her assistant how good it is. And it was really, that's how it was so funny that I kept being like, oh my God, can you really like say that?
Lewis, give it up for Lewis, everybody. Obviously, you're jumping in the movie comes with the added layer of stepping into a film that launched your dad's career, man, and acting alongside of him. How sweet is that?
Yeah, no, it was tremendous. I mean, you kind of making the joke about if you were offered the role of directing it, you would turn it down. That was kind of my initial instinct. I was like, these are shoes that are unfillable. I grew up watching this movie. It was like I watched it before I watched Star Wars. When I watched Star Wars, I was like, why did they remake Spaceballs without all the And so like when this came along, I was like, no way. And then I was like, I can't. And then Pop was like, well, read it. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna read it. And then I read it. And I was like, damn it, this is so good. And then me and Pop had this kind of like didn't want to make me make the decision. And I was like, didn't want to step into his shoes, but then once I read it, I was like, this is one of the funniest scripts I've ever read. I was laughing out loud. I rarely laugh out loud when I'm reading scripts. And then I looked at the team and I was like, I would be a fool. It would be weird if I didn't do it. And I would be on my deathbed and be like, that was a weird choice. And my dad, when we finally had our conversation, he was just like, this is, we were waiting for a big, really gritty drama to do together. And then this came along, we were like, well, this might be our shot here. And this is maybe better than anything we could have ever done. And to do something with your family, my dad always says, family is everything. And to get to make a movie with your dad, I don't have words for it.
That's beautiful. Give it up, man. Lewis, we have a surprise for you. Even though he couldn't be here today because he's doing a show over in England, we asked your dad the same question. He sent in this video. Roll it. To the President of the United States, ladies and gentlemen.
I do have the letter, but I was thinking, first of all, I'm not an actor, but it also makes, I think, a lot more sense to have Lewis read this. Yeah? We'll pass it down to Lewis to let him read it.
This is a letter from Lewis's dad. Lewis is going to read it.
Sweet, okay. This came all the way in the post, huh? Hello, Comic-Con. I won't do that. Bill Pullman here. Sorry I can't be here with you all, but I wanted to take a second to tell you why this movie was maybe the most special experience of my life. Family. After all, family is everything. I told you that, yeah? When I say family, I use the term loosely to describe Rick, George, and Daphne, who have been like family to me since 1987. But then there's new family, like Kiki, Dan, and Benji, Josh Greenbaum, and the guy from Barry, and my son from the 2012 NBC series 1600 Pen, Josh Gad.
That's amazing.
That's gonna be you, buddy. Nice.
Does love family.
And finally there's real family. Josh Gad's father, Stan, who came and visited us on set. He and Josh were beautiful together.
We had such a great time with your dad.
That's so sweet, man. I would look at Stan and say to myself, one day I hope to have a son like Josh's father. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention Lewis's hair and makeup team, who I grew incredibly close to because they would shave me and do my hair. And obviously Lewis's agent, who sent me the most beautiful start gift, a candle that smells like 16th century Scotland. Okay, nothing beats family, and one day I hope I'm lucky enough to have a real family like the one I made on Spaceballs. Also, Lewis, don't forget to pay Mom back for the cell phone bill we covered in Australia.
Louis, mind if I keep that? What? Mind if I keep that? That's
No, I'm gonna have to hang on to this one. Yeah. It does close out with "Give my love to Stan," Bill Pullman. That's so sweet. That's so sweet.
We love you,
Bob.
That was beautiful. Gorgeous.
Makes me miss my dad. All right, kids, so you all signed on to Spaceballs 2 at this point. So let's start with Rick. Rick, how did it feel to wear the helmet again for the first time after all these years? What was it like to step back onto the Spaceballs set?
Well, I kept having to pinch myself because I would look at Daphne and Bill and George Winder.
Woo! Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Sanders, and then there were all these young people, and I realized I was their age 39 years ago when we made this, and here we are now, and my kids are the age of this. I felt like I was in a time warp, but I was in that outfit and wearing the helmet, and it just felt very strange, to be honest with you. But it started to feel really good, and I really started to love it. And who knows? You know, maybe it's the beginning of many.
I will say, when we were trying to get the helmet made and figure out the helmet, we were like, we got to figure out the glasses. And I asked Rick, I said, do you remember what brand, if anything about the glasses?
I had the original glasses. In fact, I wound up keeping they were prescriptions, so I wound up keeping a pair or two of the glasses from all the movies I did. So all these years, instead of playing with my dolls, I've been playing with my glasses.
Kiki, let's go over to you. What can you tell us about your character, Destiny?
Nothing. No, seriously, nothing. But what I can say is that I really loved playing her. And I can't wait for you guys to check her out and see, what she brings to the new Spaceballs.
She brings a lot. She brings a lot. By the way, my niece, sorry, this isn't scripted, but my niece was like, I'm doing Spaceballs, and she's like, that's nice, Auntie. God, you're so old. And then I say, Kiki Palmer's in it. She's like, what? Kiki Palmer's in Spaceballs? Why didn't you tell me? And she did a video for her and everything. So you are part of this new generation. We're going to bring a whole bunch of new young people to this movie because of you guys. God.
Louis, you are mostly known for your amazing dramatic work, and while I got the chance to say it, man, that movie was amazing. What they wound up calling the New Avengers and stuff. But I loved it. It's a movie about grief and darkness. Well done and stuff. Thank you. But this is comedy. What's it like to throw yourself into comedy with a big C?
Terrifying. I mean, terrifying before I set foot on set, and then it was just probably the most fun I've ever had on set. It was the most joyous. Greenbaum, everyone here led this whole thing with such love and such understanding that the recipe requires failure and almost begs for it. And so everyone kind of urged each other forward in that sense. But then also speaking of grief and sadness, comedy, and it comes from that. It's sort of, I remember kind of learning that because Greenbaum was before the table read, he was really earnesty is all that you need at the scene of everything. And I was like, okay, I can do that. I've just kind of, just play it all as truthful as possible. And luckily my lines were, did all the goofiness because I'm not a very smart guy. And so that was really close to home for me, so I was really fortunate.
I think that's the thing that Josh always said too, Josh Gad, both Josh Greenbaum and Josh Gad, but you said it at the beginning of this, Josh Gad, where it's like just the truth of it. That's what makes it funny, is the heart, the pathos, that no matter what, that's what's guiding the story. And I feel like we all really had a lot of fun with that, doing this, you know, finding the heart in every moment.
Yeah.
What are you looking like that for?
I just like that you got the mic back up. I was like, you gotta be talking more, Kiki. It's always fun when you pick up the mic.
There's a lot going on here.
Daphne, how is it to no longer be Princess Vespa?
Well, to quote a friend of ours, it's good to be the queen! Let me say, he said king, but I say queen, and yeah, I loved playing Vespa, first of all. I loved playing her. It felt kind of like Lewis was saying, I kind of like felt like a documentary playing Princess Vespa, because I'm kind of like, you know, that. But playing the queen was amazing, because now she owns a kingdom, a queendom, and I really fell right into the main difference was I told Tracy Field, our amazing costume designer, whatever you whatever you find for the fabulous shoes for Queen Vespa, just make sure my orthotics fit into them. That was the only difference all these years later. So, but yeah, no, I loved it. I loved, as these guys are all saying, it was just this really well working machine of comedy and trying things on the day as well. You know, the script was hilarious, and then we got to play on the day, you know, with rehearsals. Kiki and I were like, what about this? What about, and she's like such a physical comedian too, and so there was a lot of play when we were there on set. Which I loved. Which I loved.
And y'all got to that, and it sounds like, because of Gad, man, it sounds like you're the seed that starts this tree growing. Give it up for
Mel
Olaf.
Brooks is the seed that started
But you're the one that, like, it's one thing. There are those who've gone before us who have made the things that inspired us and led us to the craft that we practice. You're giving back. You're putting that dude back up on a pedestal and helping him finish the thing that he wanted to finish, man. That is the noble work, the Lord's work. Give it up for Gad. I'm telling you, this movie means the world to me. I still remember singular cinematic experience seeing this Spaceballs with my family, and my father laughing so hard that he pissed his pants. And for no bullshit, for the rest of our lives, anytime a Mel Brooks movie came out, he'd be like, Mel Brooks owes me a set of pants. So he's been gone 23 years, man, but like, I want to go to the grave and be like, you're gonna get them pants, bitch. Who are you playing, man? Like, who? It's a mystery.
So, and we're not being coy today. We're when we say we can't tell you much, it's because we want to protect a lot of the surprises of this movie. So let me start by saying this. I am sitting next to one of the 4 people on my Comedy Mount Rushmore. There's another gentleman named John Candy who's on this. When part of the conceit of this movie was I wanted it to be a love letter to John. John is one of my biggest idols. I'm gonna put rumors to rest. I am not playing Barf in this movie, okay? And that is a role that is singularly played and will ever be played by one person. And while I can't tell you who I'm playing, I can reveal today that I am playing a new Mog in our film, okay? So that's all I can really say, but it is truly in every way, shape, and form. John is at the beating heart, I think, of this film, and it is a part of the reason why I think the movie ultimately has so much heart. I hope you guys will agree when you see it. So that's what I can say for now.
Did you see that Candy documentary?
It was incredible.
Wasn't it fantastic?
Well, if you guys have not yet seen the John Candy documentary, it is unbelievable.
Just watch the first 5 minutes when Dan Aykroyd gives the most stunning eulogy you'll ever hear in your life, and it'll make you want to watch the rest of the movie. Give it up for the late, great John Candy. Josh, you got Mel back as Yogurt?
Yes, Mel is back as Yogurt. Yes. The Almighty, just plain Yogurt. And yeah, so we've been, like I said, we've been working with him for 5 years on the script, the development, but we've also been recording with him because at 99, now 100, if you didn't know, he turned 100 2 weeks ago. He was like, I absolutely want to play this role, but I cannot put on all the insane prosthetics and the very toxic gold makeup he put on. I told him, I was like, I think we should all put that toxic gold makeup on. You're 100. Like, I don't know what was in that stuff. But yeah, he said, I obviously want to do this, so we've been recording with him. Some of that footage you saw was right after one of Mel's sessions. We've been recording sessions with him. We did the dots, which he didn't like on his face for the mocap. He later on was like, I don't need the dots. And I turned to my VFX team, I was like, do we need the dots? They're like, I was like, Mel doesn't like the dots. They're like, no, I guess not. So we took the dots off. But we've been recording with him. We're working with incredible artists and Weta Digital, ILM, the best in the business to obviously bring, through the magic of VFX, bring yogurt to life. But I did bring a little bit of clips from one of our, I think this was after our first session we recorded with him, which was actually a few years back. So you'll see a little clip, he's got the dots on, this is before he made us take.
Very nice to have the best moment of your life captured on video when Mel Brooks compliments your wife. And so I think that for us, we were sort of like, well, there's nowhere to go from here. So that was a very nice one.
Lest you think that it was all smooth sailing with Mel, I also brought a clip in which shows a little, every once in a while he didn't like the jokes we had or the direction.
No, don't tell them that.
So I'll play a little clip here. You can imagine he was always right. We all would always say, like, Mel's right, he's always right.
My favorite is when you would just say, no, that's a bad one. I'm not going to do that.
We're blessed that you, like a filthy little cuck, you brought a camera everywhere with you, man. Give it up for Josh, everybody.
I was thinking of you guys this whole process. But no, I do want to say something which we might have said at the start, which is we got to give it up to you, the fans, and all of us, because that's the only way this movie gets made, is that you all kept this movie alive for the last 40 years. Seriously.
Speaking of the original, Kiki and Lois, do you have a favorite scene from the original?
Well, the one I can think of right now is the stunt double one. Where they come back and they turn around and you jump scare. It's like, that ain't them. I love that.
God, it's an embarrassment of riches. I mean, I've probably seen it over 1,000 times. I have a least favorite scene. My least favorite scene is when Barf knocks my dad's cowboy hat off. And I remember being too young to understand that that the hat didn't just fall into the abyss of space. And so I was like, his hat's gone. And I didn't understand what the movie's about at this age, and I was like, so this whole movie's about him trying to get his damn hat back. And they don't even get the hat back. And for a while, I was like, I had real beef with Barf. And it broke my heart that his cool hat was just gone into the star. So that, I still would like to go back and tweak that. I'll talk to Mel about that.
For many of us, Spaceballs is a classic comedy. For you, an existential crisis about that. Spaceballs is endlessly quotable. Daphne and Rick, what Spaceball lines get quoted back to you the most over the course of the last few decades?
Well, both of us. Well, we have different lines in the movie. What's yours? Most quoted?
Well, I always get "May the Shorts be with you," and I get a lot of "You went over my helmet." But honestly, the line I've heard the most, and I appreciate the most, which is one of the reasons I'm so excited to be here today, is the line I get is, "When are you guys going to finally make a sequel to that thing?" That's what I get.
Well, I get all the time, my hair! He shot my hair! Son of a bitch. That I get. Yeah, that too. What he said. He knows the movie better than I do. I also get people coming up to me singing very low. Nobody knows. And And then something about the hairdryer, and I can't live without it. I get that all the time. So those are the ones I get.
Nice. In the first film, Yogurt reveals his master plan, merchandising. Being the wise and brilliant man that he is, he reveals that he's expanded the Spaceballs brand to include a bunch of cool new products. Now, I know we're still a ways out from release, but do you guys have plans to fulfill Yogurt's vision to expand the world of Spaceballs even further than just these two movies?
Yeah, it's such a great question, Kevin. Thanks for asking. And one we were hoping you would ask.
Yeah, I mean, we're actually very excited right here in Hall H, to announce that this is just the beginning of our plans for a Spaceballs cinematic universe.
That's one big asshole, kids. That is a lot to unpack. Now, I want to invite members of the audience to come up and ask some of your burning Spaceballs questions, man. Let's open it up to the audience. Let's give it up for the late, great Joe Rivers, Dot Matrix.
Joe Rivers, Dot Matrix, Dick Van Patten, Dom DeLuise, all of these beloved folks are represented in some way in our film and given a love letter. Thank you for asking me.
Very nice. We got our question, the first question asked, what's your name, Captain?
Hey there, Captain. My name is Sam.
Give it up for Sam. Sam's first, that takes guts. All right, Sam, what do you want to know?
My question's for the cast. I was wondering if you could be in a remake of a sci-fi movie with this same creative team, a different sci-fi movie, what would that be?
Wow.
Hi, Bob. Sam.
Different sci-fi movie with this group, we'd make a really weird Blade. But maybe it would finally get made. So, I can see us doing Blade. Do you know Blade? You don't know Blade, do you? Great movie.
Oh my god.
Is that what you hoped for?
You're welcome.
Fair enough. What's your name, Captain?
My name's Josh Garcia.
Give it up for Josh. He's next.
Josh G.
Another Josh G. That's too many, Josh. Go out now.
Since Mel Brooks has dealt with a lot of controversies through history with the movies he's made, before Spaceballs.
Way to bring down the mood, Josh Garcia.
So when you're working with Mel Brooks, what do you see in his work with the executives that allows them to know that he is trustworthy and has the right intentions with controversial jokes, controversial storytelling, and presenting that to the audience?
I mean, I would just say, I think Mel's rule of thumb that he always told me is it's all about the laughs. That is what he wants to preserve always. And unfortunately, if you try to listen to nobody else other than your audience, and if they're laughing, you keep it in. And I think those laughs, as he would always say, is they come from truth. The reason we laugh at something is because we recognize something on screen, and so it might be controversial, but it's true, and then you laugh. And so that's certainly something we brought.
He also says never punch down, always lift up, which I think is another great way to embrace things that might otherwise be controversial. His movies stand the test of time because at the end of the day, even though he's making some bold-ass choices, they have so much heart. Again, you fall in love with these characters. And so you go along with the ride. And you maybe learn something along the way. It's why movies that he made in the 60s and 70s are still timeless.
What I loved about working with Mel, and on this same, there's room in a Mel Brooks movie for the smartest joke you can come up with and the dumbest joke you can come up with. It just has to be funny. It's what matters.
I also think that the movies that he did back and earlier in his career, he pushed the envelope. He was, unpopular for times. I mean, if you've seen his documentary, you need to see Judd Apatow's documentary of Mel Brooks. That's amazing. And read his autobiography, which he reads, Mel Brooks. But he brought this younger team on who grew up in this era. So there's a wonderful melding of honoring Mel Brooks and pushing the envelope and being young and finger on the pulse and reading the culture now. So I think you don't have to worry about that.
Also, Mel has a tremendous contagious energy, and you kind of makes you be funnier to be in his presence. And it's a quality that Josh Greenbaum and Josh Gad and everybody here has. And it inspires a performance level that you see in all of his movies from different actors and different scenes. And it's a kind of tone and a kind of feeling that many movies don't have. Another thing that I get all the time with interacting with fans as I walk around the streets of New York, people say to me, how come they don't make movies the way they used to? And I really believe this is one of those movies that they used to make.
After you, sir.
Hello.
What's your name?
My name's Aaron.
Give it up for Aaron. Aaron's next.
Absolutely loved seeing the first Spaceballs movie. My dad also showed me that movie and absolutely loved it. Our favorite thing is just the different parts of parody, and I'm just kind of curious in terms of running jokes that might get into the movie. Is there going to be any more Huts? Pizza the Huts?
Well, watch this Spaceballs. I mean, we're definitely going to, again, I would say the movie's about nostalgia, right? We're leaning into that. So if you love Pizza the Hut, I think you'll be very happy.
What's your name, Captain?
My name's Mike.
Give it up for Mike.
Yes.
He's already investing deeply.
Yeah.
Spaceballs the sexy tank top. I love it.
With that in mind, I love Boosters, and it was such an amazing movie.
Thank you.
And it was so original, so funny, so everything. I just want to know what it's like going from something so, I don't want to say low budget, but so original and amazing to something so, I don't want to say corporate, but Amazon.
I mean, budget makes a difference, right? I think with this, in this situation, or what people often think when they think big commercial is that it loses its creativity or its heart. And I think that's why I was so excited to lean into this when I read the script. Because I was thinking to myself, okay, Spaceballs, I know the thing a little bit, you know what I mean? Is we just gonna be playing around and it's just a big cash grab. But when I read the script, I said, okay, well, this is one of those great situations where you're glad they gave those people the budget. Because now we get to actually make something really amazing and make it larger than life. You know what I'm saying? That's what made me happy about it, was this is that kind of creative niche thing that always should have gotten more. And now I get to be a part of the one that does. So Amazon did good with this. Thanks, Jeff. Mr. Bezos.
What's your name, Captain?
Hi, my name is Eden.
Give it up for Aiden. Aiden's going to be our last question. Go ahead, Aiden.
And my question is, my favorite gag in the movie is about surrounded by assholes. So I was wondering, since the prequels of Star Wars, maybe all of the assholes are clones because there's many assholes.
There's a lot on this stage right now.
It's a pretty solid idea and an absolute truth that they spoke.
I don't know if that was a question, but it's a beautiful observation. I think it gives our movie more depth than it ever deserves.
I think that's going to bring us to the end of this panel. Josh, is there anything else you want to add before we say goodbye?
Well, there is one thing, Kevin. I was wondering if you all would want a sneak peek at Spaceballs. That's something you'd be interested in. Let's go, let's play. Here we go.
little taste of what's to come, guys. Not bad. All right. So, before we go, there's a man who couldn't be here today named Mr. Mel Brooks. I thought that we could do a video together. And when I say count of 3, do you guys mind saying "May the Schwartz be with you"? Tonight?
Oh, yeah.
All right, ready? All right, let's do this. Ready? Mel, we are at Comic-Con right now. We miss you dearly. Okay? And everybody in the audience has a message for you. Ready? 1, 2, get in here, Cass, get in here. 1, 2, 3.
May the Schwartz be with you!
Thank you so much for coming, kids. Give it up for the cast and crew of Spaceballs, the new one. Don't forget to exchange the tokens you receive an exclusive Spaceballs poster. You people have been amazing. Happy Comic-Con, everybody. Go tell everybody what you saw here today. We love you all. Good night.
Thank you.